Hi, my name is Jessica Noguera. I am a CTE teacher for 9th through 12th grade students, and I teach media technology. I thank you for joining my video blog that's going to focus on what I believe is the importance of online learning in several different formats. To get started, education buzzwords really are all the rage these days, and if we as educators can incorporate those popular buzzwords into our everyday talk, our classroom setting, faculty meetings, and lesson plans, then surely we must be guiding our students towards higher levels of learning, understanding, and achievement. Or are we? That's my question. In my opinion, we aren't, because buzzwords just aren't the answer. As teachers, especially teachers of CTE areas, we should be working every day to create a student-centered environment filled with rich technology and meaningful, yes, I'm saying meaningful, 21st century learning. And there they are again. I just used some buzzwords. But what's really happening? Perhaps we ask students to watch a video clip and discuss it or analyze it. Perhaps we send them on a web quest and ask them to use the internet to gather information. Or maybe we ask them to create a visual project based off of information that they found from the internet. Those all sound great, and a lot of educators might think that those techniques alone count when we are referring to best practices in the CTE classroom. However, I actually disagree to some extent, and I'd like to bring a little bit of light to a concept that can actually make these elements matter much more in the classroom, to the teacher, and to the student. And what I'm talking about is online learning, distance learning, hybrid learning, blended course designs, really in the 9th to 12th grade settings for CTE areas. I believe that so-called online learning tends to get a bad rap among really all parties, from teachers and administrators, even to students and their families. And here's why. Learning management systems, those online sort of systems that we use, are sometimes used as data storage locations, perhaps for calendar use or video viewing sites, and especially in the high school setting. I've seen it happen. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the scenario where a teacher tells their class that they can find a handout, a PowerPoint, a form, or whatever have you, given the lesson, online, in whatever learning management system that teacher is using. Students then groan because they have to go online, log on, they have to take the time to do it, download the file, fill it out, print it out. To me, and I'm sure to a lot of students, that's a lot of extra steps for a student to just use technology, quote unquote. Sure, it's a good way to make materials readily available whenever students need them. However, in all reality, online learning and online learning management systems are a lot more than data storage locations. Online learning can be easily used for credit recovery, also to accommodate location needs of a student. But again, why in there? Why limit our students? Because it can be so much more. I really do believe that more high schools should embrace distance learning, hybrid learning, or blended course design, however you want to look at it, as a part of their regular programs of study. So far, I really kind of highlighted a lot of negatives, kind of saying, why I think online learning gets a bad rap. But education should obviously be a very positive experience. Online learning can help to promote all of those things that teachers wish for, like social presence, interaction, discovery, flexibility, variation in learning methods, which we need for our diverse learners, and really ownership of learning, which is a really big component of distance learning and online learning. These are all affordances of those learning management systems that enhance the use of online learning for 9th through 12th grade CTE areas of study and students. As educators, we need to remember that we're teaching and we are guiding and we're influencing a generation of those millennials that we like to refer to. And our job is to prepare those students for a life really beyond high school in a job arena that's going to require so many different skill sets. so many diverse skill sets. According to the ASCD, which is the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, online learning actually allows a school district to offer courses that might not be affordable to that school district or really even possible given a lot of logistical issues. Students through those courses can explore just a really very wide variety of interests that exist beyond their school walls, which is incredible. They get experiences that they might not otherwise have, and they're able to actually kind of dip into the real world of peers, perhaps students their age or close to their age, and professionals. And it's a really great way to be able to interact and get that experience that might not happen otherwise. The ASCD also says that this means that students can take more a bigger ownership, more charge of their own learning, and they're actually more likely to work to solve their own problems than to just seek immediate help. So if you can imagine a class filled with problem solvers instead of helpless hand raisers, which is an excellent affordance of gaining skills from an online learning course. The best part, what I think is the best part, students are actually more likely to want to learn and build their own knowledge bank because they are taking such a greater ownership of their learning. So imagine that, wanting to learn, another key component. So maybe my little rant here about online learning, distance learning, hybrid courses, blended courses, started with some negatives that focus on what classrooms might look like using some of these learning management systems, but the end and the outcomes from online learning and properly used learning management systems just really can't be ignored. The benefits far outweigh the negatives. Shakespeare was one of the first prolific individuals to coin a phrase that I've said to my students before, similar to "the world is your oyster." And I really do believe that for students, the world really is theirs for the taking. And I believe that online learning in any form can really be an excellent vehicle to help deliver its meaning. So I look forward to continuing this video blog in my next series. Thanks for listening.